MVFF Swansea, Season 6, Matchday 9 with your coach Howell. I hope you're all well. I've had an absolutely fantastic evening with you guys on Tuesday night. It was unreal. The energy was something special, got to be honest with you. And I know that I say that a lot, but it just keeps on just trumping itself every single week. There's something that happens every single week that just ups the ante, just that one little bit more. And last night was the sheer celebration that we were having for the milestones that we were hitting. It's amazing to see the momentum's coming through, the excitement for the reshuffle. I know I've said it, the exciting word. I will speak more about that as well. And of course, just the amount of questions, the queries, the amount that people are looking forward to having this reshuffle come through, the amount of the people who are a bit reserved, wondering what's going on with it, and as well as that, because we're coming up to Matchday 10 next week, people know that that's the end of the season as such, and then we go into a cup, and we're all looking forward to finding out what's going on there. I will reveal a lot more during this roundup, I promise you that. But we'll get started and we'll go from there. First of all, as we are fully accustomed to, if this is going to decide to move for me today. Doesn't look like it wants to shift for me today. I don't know what's going on. There we are. That's better. So as we're fully accustomed, we have got our rules that we've got. If you want to see more, they're on the rules on site there. But hat tricks, of course, that is when you lose weight for 3 weeks. Doesn't have to be consecutive. It's just 3 weeks. Own goals, you've got a season registering weight. Each season you start with a registering weight. And of course, if you go over that, you start earning own goals. If you continue to gain weight, you will earn more own goals. However, if you're still over the season starting weight and you're losing, you don't own any own goals in that way then. It goes the other way. We've got 1 to 2 players losing weight on your team. That's 1 goal, 3 to 4 to 2, all the way up to, of course, if 9 players in your team lose weight, that's an extra 5 goals for your team. And of course, the milestones. We've all seen them come through, and they're multiples of 5. So if you hit your 5%, your 10%, your 15%, you get 3 goals for your team. Now, bear in mind, you get 2 milestones, and then that's it for the season. The system doesn't show the next ones. We had an issue like this last night where somebody knew that they hit the next milestone. However, they had 2 this season, which means now that the next season that goes through, his lucky team that he'll go into will benefit from that. Right, let's go forward. There we are. It's all working for me now, thank goodness. So we can see we've had a fantastic attendance. We had 75.2% attendance. That's 3/4 of the league were there last night, which is absolutely lush to see. Our numbers increasing. However, this is stereotypically the season, the time of the year where you've got a lot of time where people can't make it. They're going away on holiday. They've got different things planned. The sun is out. So, realistically, having 75% of the attendance, that is fantastic. That works out still over 100 members turning up to weigh in last night, which is brilliant to see. We had 48 pitch goals, 67 scales goals. So you can see the scales is completely dwarfing the pitch right now, which is lush to see. And of course, an extra 31 coaches goals, which also gives you a real good indication there of how many people are still in the rumble. So let's start. Goir. Now, I don't have to be a data analyst to see this, but purple, you have cleaned house. Look at that. You had the tracker bonus goal as well as green and white for that. Well done. We've had the team loss bonus goal to purple. The team attendance bonus goal to purple. We're the only team that actually went through the threshold that we have on that, of course. And then, of course, Nathan Hicks. Just to bear in mind on that, of course, because we have every single team now at 11. The threshold is back to 11. We only go down when we have teams which are under that threshold. And naturally, you can see at that point. So we had the threshold is at 11 and we had only 1 team hitting the 11 on Goir there, which was purple. Nathan Hicks, season 6 percentage leader. You were taking the throne there. Absolutely fantastic. There's still a small margin between yourself and who's second, but Nathan, you've got it. You have been on an absolute mission since returning, and I couldn't be prouder. Well done, mate. That's absolutely brilliant. Now over to Copper. We had the tracker bonus goals going to pink, blue, and black this week. And then, of course, the team loss bonus goal going to blue. Attendance bonus goals then were light blue, blue, black, and light green with your astronomic attendance. Fantastic to see. And of course, season 6 percentage leader regaining that throne from last week, of course. Chris Stevens, you're back on there. Absolutely fantastic to see. Well done, buddy. Moving on. I'm going to try and make this under 20 minutes today. So, our weekly team loss there. We'll start from there straight away. Thinner to win it at 3.8 kilos. Incredible Bulks 5.6. Sporting a Beer Gut and Frying Dutchman breaking even. And Marco Banfasting with a 0.8 kilo collective loss there. But Fattest Uta, 9.1 kilos there for you guys. Amazing to see. On to Copper then, we had Scranra at 3.6, Pink Panthers at 3.9, Fazio at 9.7, Forest Green Bloaters at 5.1, Fat and Furious at half a kilo, and of course, Vinder Blues, 13.1 kilo loss collectively as a team. You came in your droves, you lost in your droves. That was amazing to see, guys. Absolutely storming. Well done, guys. Which gives us a weekly club loss there of 46.9 kilos. We are, if we're looking at this now then, we've had only 2 weeks in the last 9 where we have exceeded that number. So we are on a fantastic run at this moment in time. 66.6 kilos last week, 46.9 this week. We've had huge amounts. And all that's contributed to a total club loss in 9 weeks of 397.7 kilos, guys. I'll take a word from my daughters right now. That is banging. That is absolutely amazing. Well done, guys. Fantastic to see. I feel like an old man now saying that. Goyer, the biggest losers for Goyer, of course. Luke Massingham, a 3.6 kilo loss. Matthew Owen, a 3.2. And Tom Scott, a 3.2. Joint second there. Absolutely amazing to see, guys. And congratulations. Copper, biggest losers there, of course. We had Chris Stevens at a whopping 5 kilo loss. Mikey Hayward then coming in at 4.7 kilo loss. And Russ Davey at 3.5 kilos. Absolutely unbelievable weight loss there, guys. Fantastic and great to see how much you were contributing to that weekly club and total club loss there as well. Brilliant to see. Milestones, of course. Michael Carter and Tony Neal smashing in the 5% club there. Brilliant to see, and I can't wait to see where your journeys take you. At the 10% club then, Kev Carroll and Craig Evans coming through. Greatly deserved, knew exactly that they had it even before they stepped in the scales. You could see that they know their own bodies and they hit it with incredible force. And then, of course, at 15%, our own Jolie Barder, you hit that and you did it so well. 15% is all yours. Nobody can take that away from you. Congratulations, mate. I am so very proud of every single one of you there. Brilliant. And let's move on. Hat-trick heroes. These are the guys who have contributed goals to their teams by losing for 3 weeks. Doesn't have to be consecutive, but they've lost for 3 weeks there. So let's start it from Goyer, of course, on the top there. So Kawhi and Chris Church, you hit your hat-tricks with Nathan Hicks, Owen Llewellyn, Simon Gear, Steve Thomas and Tom Sharville, Andrew Francis Davis and Kev Carroll. You all hit hat-tricks for your respective teams in the Goyer League. On to Copper League then, Scranra, Corey Davis, Chris Carter, and of course Joe Gear, Aaron Harris, Josh Davis, Nathan Locke, Phil Finzelback, and Reece Angeli there. Ashley Gilbert and Jordan Gilbert, Nathan Charles, Tony Neal, and of course then for Fat and Furious, Gareth Lewis, Gareth Rice, James Hartree, and Ridian Evans, all hitting hat-tricks for their respective teams on the Copper League. Amazing to see, guys, your progression and your dedication to the weight loss in Man v Fat. Brilliant to see. And of course, this is what we're all here for. We all weigh in and then we have a game of football, and we love to know how the scores have broken down. You've all been on the websites, you've all seen what's going on, you can see where your positions are. However, this is my insight onto it as well. So, first game of the night for Fattest Uta against Sporting a Beer Gut for Goyer. So, the pitch score was 3-0 to Fattest Uta. Scales then was 9-1 to Fattest Uta. Tracking was 3-all with a bonus goals of 6-1 to Fattest Uta for their absolutely cleaning house on their bonus goals, of course. Giving an overall there of 21 goals to 5 to Fattest Uta. An absolutely fantastic off the pitch in order to get such a high score there. Brilliant to see with your dedication as well, guys. Fazio against Forest Green Bloaters for Copper, first game. So the score was 2 goals to 11 to Forest Green Bloaters. Scales then was 11 goals to 12. So close, but still to Forest Green Bloaters. At 3-all for tracking and 3 goals to 2 to Fazio, giving an overall there of 19 to 28. Again, you're looking at the overall, it looks like a massive one. But considering then, if you're looking at the pitch, it does look big. But then when you look at those together, you can see that the game was really brought back closely with the high amount of Scales dedication that came through there. Brilliant to see. Absolutely fantastic. It's worth celebrating just the scale scores here, guys. It's amazing to see. Moving on, Frying Dutchman against Marco Banfastin. Frying Dutchman, of course, quite thin on the ground due to a certain event that happened on the weekend. And yeah, it was great to see some individuals showing their face and, of course, joining in with the festivities. Although weren't in a very fit state to play. But nevertheless, we still went through to it. Due to the lack of numbers, or the low attendance, I should say there, it was a forfeited game, which meant that we had a good kickabout there. But then, of course, 5 goals have been awarded as a forfeit to Marco Banfastin, giving a pitch score of 5-0. Scales then was 5-0 to Marco Banfastin as well. Tracking was 2-3 to Marco Banfastin, with bonus goals of 1 goal to 2 to Marco Banfastin, giving an overall there of 15 goals to 3 to Marco Banfastin. Great to see as well just how many guys just pitched in to make sure that the game carried on. It was really good to see, and I felt the love, to be honest. It was really good just to see everybody just chipping in and getting going there. Second game on Copper, of course, Fat and Furious against Stranraer. So the pitch score there was 11 goals to 2 to Stranraer. 6 goals to 7 to Stranraer on the scales, with 3 goals each for tracking and 2 goals to 3 to Stranraer on bonus goals, giving an overall there of 13 to 24. Brilliant to see, and of course, with that win, we'll have a bit of an announcement later on. Incredible Bulks against Thinner to Win It was the final game on Goyer's roster sheet this week. So that we had then 6 goals to 5 on the pitch to Incredible Bulks, with 5 goals to 3 on the scales to the Incredible Bulks, 3 all on tracking, and 3 goals to 1 on bonuses to the Incredible Bulks, giving an overall of Incredible Bulks 17, Thinner to Win It 12. And of course, as said, another announcement to follow. Final game on Copper then was Vinder Blues against the Pink Panthers, and it was a very close on pitch of 2-1 to the Pink Panthers. However, Vinder Blues absolutely cleaned house on the scales, which then identified them with a 9 goal to -1 on the scale win for the Vinder Blues. 3 all on tracking and 5 bonus goals to 2 to Vinder Blues, give an overall there of 18 goals to 6 to the Vinder Blues. Congratulations, guys, an absolutely fantastic round. Okay. We've got this. These are the top scorers. We had text messages this morning saying they didn't see the slides that went through last night because they weren't ready. They actually were sorted then by they were sorted by Darryl Cox and Aaron Harris, absolute legends of the league that support me on a weekly point of taking these tallies, because probably I'd get something wrong. But at the same point, they've done these for me, and then I got the information, I put it into the slides, and that means then that the slide has been updated at 7:30 tonight, which was on Wednesday the 14th of June. And as you can see there, we've got it for the Goyers. Scott Davis is still top in there, but with 2 goal differences to Kyle Lewis, which is rocking up at second place. Nick Davis, Darryl Cox at 18, Aaron John at 13, Tom Scott at 13, Carl Williams, Nathan Hodgson and Carol Phillips at 10, Chris Church at 9, and I'm not sure why we've got Scott Davis coming through in a second, 22 there, but that is a typo. There is a top 10 there, as you can see. For Copper then, we've got then Corey Davis, 20 goals on the top, with TG following with 18, Dan Landeck 16, Ryan Hawkins at 15, Alex Kirkus at 14, Lee Stevens Shaky then at 9, Alec Mason at 9, James Hartree at 9, Byron Dover-Wade at 9, and of course Dan Kerwin there with 8 goals. All very achievable, and being able to look at how close those goals are towards the bottom and the top there. Everything can change with 1 week to go. And this is what happens with the league. Now, as I said, we've got a bit of an announcement here. If you look at that, mathematically, with a week to go, massive congratulations to the Incredible Bulks and Stranraer there, becoming absolutely untouchable at top of the leagues, winning our overall for their respective leagues. So congratulations, Incredible Bulks, you are the champions of the Goir League, with Stranraer being the champions of the Copper League. Brilliant to see with the overall league there. Absolutely fantastic. Second place with Goir is Fattest Duta, with Marco Banfastin, Thinner to Win It, Frying Dutchman and Sporting a Beer Gut. And then of course in Copper we've got Forest Green Bloaters at second place with Fat and Furious, Pink Panthers, Vinda Blues and Fazio. Now obviously I said there's going to be a bit of an announcement with the Cup. This is how it's going to work. We've had confirmation from our fantastically supportive HQ coming through with exactly how we're going to run this. So here is how it's going to go. And I've promised you I was going to come out with it, and I'm going to tell you exactly as it is. So whoever comes out at the top 3 of both leagues after week 10, you are then taken from there and you will be put into a new league. It would be the Goir League, but then it would be a new set of leagues where you've got then the top 3 from Goir and the top 3 of Copper competing for 4 weeks. Whoever is at the top of that league at the end of those 4 weeks wins the Cup. Now in Copper, of course, we'll have the Copper Plate, and then if it's the bottom 3 from both respectives, then whoever comes 4th, 5th and 6th from in those leagues, in Goir and Copper, will then be put into the Copper League, and you'll be playing for the plate. And of course, exactly the same way with 4 weeks ago, you will then play each week, and you will get then to the point where whoever is at top of the league at that point, you will then be crowned with the Copper Plate. And that is how we're going to work it, guys. It's not overly complicated, but what it does do is that we've had 10 weeks now where people from the Copper League have not been able to play for the Goir League, and vice versa. So then by having this, it gives us that mix then before we expand in Season 7 to 16 teams, which then will give us 2 whole leagues of 8 teams, which means then that we'll be playing for 14 weeks straight in a league. There will not be any cup coming through on that. Just thought I'd let you know all this, guys, and at least then you were fully aware of that. Please, if anybody does ask you now if there's any information or thinks of themselves that they haven't heard this, please revert them back to 17 minutes on match day number 9 of the Roundup. Right, let's go through. I've just seen how little time I've got. Incredible Bulks have hit that then, and they've also won the Scales League, which is an amazing feat, guys. Absolutely fantastic. Huge congratulations to Incredible Bulks for winning the Scales and the overall already with a week to go. Absolutely bouncing there, guys. Fattest Duta coming in there at second place with Thinner to Win It, Marco Banfastin, Sporting a Beer Gut and the Frying Dutchman at the end there. And then on Copper, of course, mathematically, there's still a chance for Fat and Furious to come through and win, but they have to do that with a huge goal difference as well. However, Forest Green Bloaters currently at top with 14 points, with Fat and Furious coming through with 12, Stranraer 10, Fazio with 9, Pink Panthers at 5 and Vinda Blues there with 4 points. It's all still to play for, guys. It's all still to play for. But of course, you do know that the cup and the plate will be reflected on the overall. Okay? Right. Let's go through. Let's see this. Team of the week. We've got this going on now, so we'll start as we go along. So Scott May, absolutely fantastic. You've been voted Team of the Week for the Oranges. Then we've got Kev Caro then hitting his 10%. Brilliant to see. Luke Massingham, with your 3.6 kilo loss, you've been voted as the Incredible Bulks Man of the Moment there, of course. Tom Scott, 3.2 kilo loss. And then Richard Ghazi, then you've been voted by your team for your consistent and regular, just machine-like losing, which is absolutely fantastic to see. Matthew Owen hitting 3.2 kilos. And of course, Joe Barder for Fattest Duta then hitting your 15%. You have been voted as the Men of the Moment, Team of the Moment, Teams of the Week there for Goir. Going on then onto Copper, we've got Tom TG and Mike Carter. You've been put down there for your losses. Actually, yeah, I've made a mistake there. Apologies. Mike Carter, not Ashley Gilbert, Mike Carter there. You've been hit for your 20% and 5% losses there. Fantastic to see, guys. Russ Davey, 3.5 kilo loss. Brilliant to see there. Mikey Hayward at 4.7 kilo loss. Scott Hansen, 1.6 kilo loss. And Gareth Rice then a 1.7 kilo loss. And Craig Evans and Tony Neal then smashing in there with 10% and 5% losses for your team. Fantastic to see. And the dedication, guys, again, just strikes me. It's amazing to see how dedicated and how committed you all are to the programme. It's lush to see. So with the Rumble, we've still got 30 guys. We've still got 6 weeks to go and 30 remaining guys still in the ring, which means that 106 have been eliminated from the inductees that were in the first place. And that is amazing to see, guys. I've already put my order in for trophies. I'm looking forward to seeing these arrive. I've gone one step further than I did last season as well. So I really hope that you like the medals that I've sorted out. Okay. And then the fixtures. So the last week of the league season, etc., before we go into the cup, looks like this. We've got Frying Dutchman against the Incredible Bulks. Then we've got Sporting and Beergut against Thinner to Win It. And then finally, at 8 o'clock, we've got Marco Banfastin against Fat Astuta. For Copper, then, we've got the Fat and Furious against the Vinder Blues. Then we've got Forest Green Bloaters against the Pink Panthers. And a final game there. And possibly celebrations all round with the Incredible Bulks and Scranra being in such high spirits. We have got then Scranra against Fazio at 8 o'clock. That's the roundup, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I really hope everybody has got as much information as they need. If you need anything, absolutely anything, myself and the assistant coaches are ready to help you out there. There's going to be plenty of information coming through on the WhatsApp soon, guys, and as soon as we've got everything sorted with the league, we will be able to, with the cup of course, we will implement that and everything will go forward. In regards to the reshuffle, I'll put this out now very quickly. Yes, we've got a sort of draft. It's still being worked at the moment. I've had a lot of messages asking if I can go with this person because we share a car. Now, I understand that happens with some people, but currently the amount of messages I've had coming through with the same collection of people, I think that you come in with a bus, right? Realistically, there are so many people saying that, and I can't facilitate it all. So what you need to look at then realistically is everybody's going to try and say the same thing coming through and the same point of that. It's not going to happen. I am going to try and be as honest and as decent and try and keep everybody as happy as I can. But naturally, you have to understand as well, I can't please everyone. The way that we've done it, I think, is fair. We've looked at it in such a way that we are identifying not only weight, not only having balanced teams, not only having teams which have players who are suited positions, but also we've looked at relationships and we've looked at how we can make sure that the people who need those supportive people around them are facilitated and can actually have that support, because that's what it's all about. We're a brotherhood. We're not a footballing league. We're a weight loss and mental health league where we play football as a treat. And that's one thing we've got to remember here now, guys. It's not all about winning on the pitch, because realistically, we've seen that there's games that have been played now where the pitch has been pretty impressive, but they've still been absolutely blitzed then due to the weight loss. And that's the bit that's important here. Stay consistent, guys, and remember, you know your body and you know what's good for you, and try your hardest to do that every single week. We're all human. We all make a couple of mistakes, but as long as we get back on the horse and we go for it again, we're doing the right thing. Thank you so much for listening to the Roundup, guys, and I really hope you have a fantastic week. Ta-ra now.